New year, new me, who are you, boy? If you're in my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable.
Hello, welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. This is
Shazam.
Shazam.
Tuna.
Jason.
Jason.
Can you, if you turned into Shazam, then that would have been amazing.
After I said it.
Yeah, I know. We need some VR special effects people on cue for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My name is Darren. Welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. We are your weekly source for everything tech news related. And, in my research this week, there's been a lot of interesting stories coming out. There's
And not
new
so
phone,
much new tech. It's not so much. I mean, there's a couple of new things, but it's mostly
Yeah.
just controversy.
lots of controversy, lots of robots, lots of AI, lots of Apple. Suspicions over Apple's AI update that's coming.
Can I make a prediction?
Soon. Yes.
I think 2024 is the year of AI. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know it's
Just gonna throw that out, yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah.
And we'll see how it ends if we're still, as human beings, haven't been, overtaken by our overlords.
Very true.
But first, we're actually going to start with a somewhat regular segment here on the Tech Disruptors podcast, and that is the weird and wonderful world of eBay. We need to come up with a title for this segment. I'm not sure what the best process or protocol.
We'll brainstorm that. Maybe
We'll
some
brainstorm.
comments.
Yeah, if there's anyone
some ideas.
listening that wants to pop in and say, hey, this is what we think, leave your comment in the chat. Even if it's post-live stream, that's fine too. So we do this segment on the Tech Disruptors podcast where we go into eBay, have a look at all the weird and wonderful categories on eBay, and have a look at the weird shit that people are selling. Now, last time, I believe we looked at the everything else section, which was weird stuff in particular. Now, we're gonna stick in this little ballpark for a few seconds here. Actually, I'm gonna give you. Let's do this, Tuna. I'll give you category titles. I'll give you 3,
Okay.
and you get to pick which one we're gonna explore today.
So which rabbit hole will go down?
That's exactly right.
I
Okay,
like
so
that. I like that.
the first one is the metaphysical. Not even making that up. That's a legit
On eBay.
on eBay. That's a legit category.
Okay.
Incunabula. I can't even say that word. Incunabula.
Okay.
Or we'll go down the. Where's the other one I was looking at here? Disneyana.
Disneyana.
Disneyana. I'm assuming something to do with Disney, but I have no idea.
I'd like to.
You want the second one because you have no idea what it is, do you?
Well, I wanted to do the second one, but I can't say it.
True. That's true. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Also, I have no idea what the hell that is. Let's do that one. I don't know what that is.
So, to give you, this is the incunabula is a subcategory of eBay where they sell items printed before the 1500s.
How are they authenticated?
That's a really good question. But let's have a look at what you have here to have a look at. So, first of all, the prices in this section range from $50,000 to $150,000. And I'm going to use this first example here. So this is $110,000 US. Okay. Now, I'm just going to make this clear. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm going to assume it's a historical text. From what I can understand, it's something of German origin. 297 pages, about
leaves.
59 leaves. Thank you very much. With a xylographic title, an 1809 woodcut illustration printed on from 645 blocks in a wood shop, Doubletown page views. There is maps of the world, Europe.
So
I would
this
actually
is a hardback. This is a
I'm
hardback.
going to say, let's have a look at the image. I'm going to say here that this is an early version of the Atlas, I want to say, or something similar to
Well, there's
that.
pages. Where I mean, it's all in German,
So
right? I'm assuming.
So this would be handwritten, I'm imagining very early text, but that's an amazing picture, first of all. Now, for all I know, we might be looking at some kind of medieval...
Go back to that first page. I'm going to use Google Translate to see what it says.
There you go.
Let's see if it actually works.
Using Google's AI here.
That was the one more back one more. I don't need
one more? So this one here?
No, it was the first one.
Oh, the very first page. I'm sorry. Right there, yeah. So what is this?
It says, what the heck? Making and money. Okay, this is not working at all.
Oh, Google failed us. Good old Google.
It says German to English, but it says with figure and it's like really confused.
Well, looking at some of these images, I mean, it looks religious in nature, especially this image in the bottom left-hand corner.
But that could just be the art style of that time too.
It could be. I mean, that's not very specific. If anyone knows what we're looking at here, that would be awesome. But the details.
If you were born around 1500, please chime in.
So this is the first edition in German of the Nuremberg Chronicle, printed in the same year as the Latin edition.
Of course, right.
It's with the German edition of George Alt's translation, appearing 5 months after the Latin edition.
The commercial sophistication, economic power, and technical virtuosity that brought the art of print to this extraordinary climax. Wow, that's a sentence right there.
There's a lot going on there. So
that's actually our slogan. Our Tech Disruptors, we bring extraordinary climax.
Well, listen, that's true. That's not wrong. That's not wrong. I mean, I'm hoping that's happening after the live stream. Looking at this, basically it looks like it is a chronicle of 15th century daily life, is from what I can understand here.
I bet that's a boring read, right?
So carpenters with tools, astronomers with their instruments, a chess player, archers, etc., etc., etc. Apparently you have to pay with bank transfer or certified check. That's not suspicious.
Did you already pay?
No, I haven't actually. It's an illustrated encyclopedia consisting of world historical accounts. That is officially the definition of the Nuremberg Chronicle. That's worth $110,000.
Well,
interesting.
It may not be worth that. That's what they're saying.
Well, that's what they want. Now, looking through the listings here, there's obviously some early versions of the Bible, which I kind of expected. I'm imagining in different languages. There is a medical guidebook from 1819. Now, this is impressive. Now, this one's actually only pretty cheap. It's 49 Australian dollars, which is about 45 Canadian dollars or 3 cents American. This is kind of interesting. This kind of gets my attention a little bit. Why wouldn't you want a medical book from the 1819?
I would actually buy this and do medical procedures myself.
Well, I'm assuming you speak Latin as well, because I
speak multiple. I have multiple tongues that I speak.
Let's see if Google Translate works on this one. Can you pull up your device there?
The only problem is I don't know if it's clear enough, but I will try. I can only imagine what it's going to do.
What it's going to do? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it says it's Italian, so it's not identifying the right language.
It is an ancient language.
Can it do Latin? I don't
know. That's a good question.
Well, let's see. KK. Yeah.
So. Do I want to know?
I beseech against what should be celebrated, and then it like changes the language. It's really weird. It like translates into Spanish, Italian. Like, wow. I don't think Google can make sense.
Google can't handle the ancient language, eh?
Well, I think it's too blurry. I think if it was more clear, like if I had it pulled up on my screen, not on a shared screen, it might be better.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can see the description on screen here. I'll just highlight this part. With recipes for tinctures, remedies, love potions, and rules to disarm corpses.
Look, hold on. As a tech disruptor, podcast-y as you are
Yes.
too.
Yes.
We don't need love potions. We don't.
No, we bring the love.
Well,
to
something. We bring
this.
some.
Yeah, we bring some. We're trying. So this is the incubula section of eBay.
It's interesting. Nothing
it
too
is.
crazy. It's just old artifacts that
Very
I guess if you're into
expensive,
history.
though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, if you were really into this like kind of thing, I could see this being like a wet dream for
but we talked
a
about this
collector.
before. Canadians, the Canadian price is usually a lot higher. So if you're really truly into this, come to the US, then buy it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend $16,000 on 2 volumes?
You know what? If you're that person who has an ancient library at your house and you just want to say you have it and you have indispensable amounts of money, I mean, go for it.
Let me just check something here. Let's go from. Okay, so the most expensive one on here is 100. Yeah, it was the one that we looked at, 150,000.
So did you read this description right on the first one? Did it say it was made of wood pages?
I believe so. Yes.
Or is it paper? Because paper comes from trees. That's what they were implying.
It says here, 8 full-page wood cuts.
It's only 8 pages. I guess. If it's
that's like a special thing within, I believe.
Oh.
I don't know.
And
I think
double-page maps of the world. Wow.
Double-page maps of the world.
I bet those. I mean, is that what Google Maps is based on? This book?
They're going to be so accurate, these maps.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's not to like? But it goes back as far as 1480 to 1489. Now, again, you brought up a good point here. How do you verify this information?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of times we'll have certificates of authenticity, but I didn't see anything in there.
Yes.
That medical, you think about that medical from the 1800s or whatever it was. WebMD is probably worried someone's going to buy that and take them over,
Well, there's that, yeah. So anyway, this is the incubula section of eBay. If you're looking for anything dating back to the 1500s, there is where you go. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, something that looks like it's come from, the 21st century is a brand new product here. If I have it somewhere up on my list, somewhere here. Now I've just got the incubula everywhere. Give me 1 second to pull this up. So, there was an article that came out this week that was on The Verge, and it's talking about a brand new product that's coming to market. For those of you who maybe are buying all into this AR future that we find ourselves in. So, tiny startup.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a company called Sightful. And they've released it's called the Spacetop G1. It's a world first augmented reality laptop. So basically, to give you the basic version of this, kind of like the Vision Pro, you have a physical keyboard attached to a pair of AR glasses that essentially project in your vision 100-inch display. And it's a Chrome OS based laptop alternative.
Well, and that could reflect at the reason why the price is half of what the Google
Vision Pro
is. Vision, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean it's running Google's Chrome OS, which is a very Chrome OS is very good, and
it's
with all the
a lot
AI
better over the years. Correct.
Yeah. And with all the AI stuff that's coming out, this is thing. And what kind of gets my attention here? And when I was reading this article, a couple of things got my attention. First of all, surprise. $1,700 US.
Still a lot of money.
Which is a lot of money. And it's shipping in October, which is fine. It's a US only release. But this part here got my attention. So basically, they're saying that this was developed by a team of over 60 spatial computing experts, including veterans from Apple, Microsoft, and Magic Leap.
Magic Leap does have some experience with AR.
Correct. So it's an interesting kind of thing. I mean, you're tethered to the actual laptop physical keyboard, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. And it is running a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM.
It's funny. I'm looking it up. I'm at the website, and it says Qualcomm Snapdragon QCS 8850. What the?
I
Can't
don't
you
know
just
what
tell
that
us
is.
what it is?
Yeah.
You know why? When they do that crap, it's because it's probably an outdated processor.
Okay, so here is where it gets interesting for me. So, okay, all of the specs aside, because we know that these AR things are always spec'd pretty well, it's using Nreal's glasses. So, if you may remember,
Really?
Nreal was that company that pioneered
Hold on.
this.
So what are they engineering then? They're taking an off-the-shelf product and sticking a keyboard on it?
I think it's an integration with the OS, I think is what their kind of thing here. So, it
But
says
is
here
Chrome
that,
OS prepared to be working? See, that's what I want to know. How well does
yes.
Chrome OS work in AR?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe this is a look at what the future of what Google may eventually do one day with some of their AR. So they're saying here that the G1 integrates Nreal glasses with a proprietary space-top environment, providing clear, high-resolution AR windows overlaid into the real world. 2 OLED display panels at 1080p, 90 hertz refresh rate, 50-degree diagonal field of view. And they can be used with prescription lenses, Tuna. You heard that right.
Not with my prescriptions.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I know
but that's
big.
good. I think they need to do that. for
Now,
sure.
do we have any video of this in action?
Well, I'm
Is
looking up
there-
online, and I'm more interested in the chipset. And it says the Sightful equips the new model with the Qualcomm Snapdragon QC, blah blah blah, a
Yeah.
chipset that complements with 16 gigs of RAM, LLDDR5 RAM, 120 gigabytes of UFS 3.1. So it's not like
It's not crazy
it
high
says here,
spec.
it should deliver performance. It should deliver better performance than the Snapdragon 865.
Hey, okay. Well, here's a little video, a promotional video. So here
Is
is,
this smacking me? No.
no. So
I think this is a cool concept. I like how the glasses sit into the case.
yes, I dig it. I like it. I think it's minimalistic, but you can still do what you need to do.
Here's the problem with all this stuff. Do you remember a company called Humane and Rabbit who made a bunch of promises and videos, and when it came out, it wasn't as good? And this is
Oh.
Nreal, and a lot of their products have kind of fallen short, and they haven't been doing well with their investors. Are they even around? I think Nreal is having some
Yeah.
financial trouble too. God, those
But
things
I
are
see-
weird looking.
They are at first, but it's kind of. I think it's more weird that you're typing on nothing. Like there's nothing in front of the
Yeah, and you're
keyboard,
smiling
which
like a weirdo.
Yeah, that's.
But you know what?
That's
That's more approachable than the Vision.
100%. I actually think this is a product that Apple wish they made. It's minimalistic,
But they could
it's
have.
simple, and they
I don't
could
think this
have,
is
yeah.
advanced enough for them.
I don't know. I dig it, man. I gotta
do
tell you,
too.
I
I'm
think
looking at
it's
the website.
cool.
I might reserve it.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, it's a lot of money, but not Apple Vision Pro money. Like, it's about half of what the Apple Vision Pro is. Now, I don't know about you, but see, for me, this is the kind of product that I'm interested when it comes to AR. When it comes to this kind of vision for the future that people have, I dig it, man. I think
Let
this
me
is
ask
a
you
really
something.
cool concept. Yeah.
So we have Windows, we have Chromebook Plus. The new Plus is adding a bunch of AI features, correct?
Yes.
We have Microsoft Windows, what do they call it? Copilot Plus or whatever.
Yep.
So Microsoft has a certain requirement to be considered these new Copilot. It's like
Yes.
50 teraflops or whatever, or what do they call them? Tops?
Yep.
So I don't know what the Chromebook's requirements are. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at their website, and it says that this Sightful is a dual ENP V3 with, it says 12 FP16 tops. What the hell does that even mean? If it's only 16 tops, that's lacking behind most of.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what worries me. Like, it looks like it'll work in okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're taking a gamble when it's a reservation for $100 and it's refundable. So you're not going to
Yeah.
pay out $1,700 if you want to try it. It's kind
You
of
know-
like the Cybertruck. You put $1,000 down, and if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to.
I think the bigger issue, like you brought up, is Chrome OS ready for an AR, VR thing like this?
Here's what I'm thinking. Google Glass was a flop because it came out
Yes.
too soon. I love Google Glass. I bought it once and then bought it again. It was fantastic, and it just kind of died
Yeah.
out. I think Google's kind of experimenting with AR. They have to
Yep.
be, and they're waiting for Snapdragon or whoever to build better ARM CPUs.
Yep.
I think this may be where Google's going with Chrome, anyways. Just like Apple's doing with
Yeah.
the iPad OS, basically in VR or AR.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be wrong to think that. I mean, I think the future that we're looking at right now is one where this is potentially going to be how we do computing. Oh, there he goes. He's doing it. He's doing it.
I don't know.
All right. We'll see by the
October,
end of the
it's-
show.
The thing, yeah. We'll see by the end of the show. I'll let you know if I've reserved that. Yeah, stay tuned though.
True. This is true. Now, okay, so just one last thing on this space top thing. If this is what the format of like this VR stuff is going to be for computing,
Mhm.
I think this is it, man. I like this.
It looks eerily similar to Vision though. The Vision Pro.
It does,
At half
but
the price, obviously.
the keyboard and the integrated glasses into the case.
You're right.
that's a
'Cause
fucking
Apple does not do the keyboard. You can add one, but they do that weird like.
yeah.
You have to
Like even the
look.
virtual keyboard's stupid. So
And they say like the eye tracking, while it really advanced, kind of made it difficult. It's a learning curve.
yeah.
So this doesn't have
Yeah.
eye tracking, I'm assuming. But
No, I'm assuming you're just clicking what you want to use and all of
Correct.
that. But
like the Quest 3, whatever they do now too.
But it is cool that they're using Nreal because Nreal's been at it for a while. They have that stuff on lock when it comes to like their ability to do that. And I think they might be able to pull off a decent pair of VR glasses for a company like this. So it's interesting. I mean, look,
Why reinvent
this-
the wheel if you got a company already making a device that's 75% what you need?
yeah,
Save the money in development and.
but
put it
maybe
in
it's
there.
just the tech, the
Well, that's what I'm saying.
tech within, right?
Apple has to reinvent the wheel every time they make something, or just buy something else and say they reinvented it. Where this company is telling you, "Hey, we're using Nreal's technology. We've got their
Yeah.
developers as well as Google and Apple people. See what we can do."
Well, speaking of new products on the horizon, so you may have heard of a company. We've talked about this company a little bit called CMF. So CMF is I guess, sub brand, of the Nothing line by
Yeah, it's
Carl Pei.
Even though
Is-
nothing's considered a more affordable brand, CMF is even more affordable. Yeah.
Yes. So okay, so here's what we know. It's confirmed to launch soon. They're launching their very first phone. Now they already have a watch and earphones. Is that right?
They have a charger. They have a couple pairs of earbuds, I think now.
Okay.
They have the watch. So I have the Watch Pro. Actually, it's not charged, but I have it right here.
Yep.
And I do have the earbuds, which I'm telling you, those are my earbuds of the year. $39
okay.
bucks. They are amazing sounding.
So we
So-
were talking about this today.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to ask you, when you look at this teaser image, what does it remind you of?
It looks exactly like their earbuds case.
Yes, or the Rabbit R1.
That too. But here's what's if you look at the specs, they say
Yeah.
the only color is black. So this is like, I don't know, this is like an accent piece.
So on GSM Arena, they actually leaked the details that they know so far about this. So it runs on a MediaTek Dimensity 7200, which I think is the same one in the 2A phone, if I got that right.
So I have the Moondrop MIAD01 phone, which no one's probably ever heard of. It's a Chinese company. They have a MediaTek 7050, which is, I would
Okay.
say, is probably lower than this one. And that one, while it's a budget phone, actually performs pretty well. So I would assume
Okay.
this was going to, but we'll talk about next. But the big issue here is it looks good on paper, but what are they going to
Yes.
charge?
Well, you tell me. What's your guess?
If it's $399, it's a steal. Any more than that, it's not worth it. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
For a
I
7200
said,
Dimensity, no.
I don't know. I mean, I said $599, and I honestly
Mm-mm.
think that might be on the money.
Isn't the 2A like $499?
Yeah, possibly.
It's
So
gotta
you're
be
saying
cheaper than that because
under-
the 2A is probably a more powerful and a more flagship device than this. This is going to be all
Yeah.
plastic, no wireless charging, not as good at cameras, not a big a battery. Might
Well,
get
the article, so it's a 6.7-inch OLED,
which is
dual
pretty
camera.
big.
Yep. 8 gigs of RAM, 5,000 milliamp battery, 33-watt fast charging. The
But
expected.
there must be more than one option because
Oh.
if you go to the top, it says 6 gigs of RAM.
Okay, so the expected price, $249.
Oh, damn. It
Yeah.
ain't coming to the U.S. That will not come to the U.S.
I don't know, man. I think it will. I think that this is how they'll make some money.
And here's the thing: nothing and CMF. Now, the Watch Pro is not the best watch. It's got a weird quirk where the software's got to be running in the background all the time for it to work. And if you scroll up to your recent apps and you close it out, it shuts the app down.
Yes.
I don't know if they fixed it. I haven't messed with it, but if they can support this like Nothing has generally with their Nothing phones, I think this could be the deal of the century. $249.
$249 for the 128 or $279 for the 256 version.
And it's going to have a unique design. It's going to it's going to stand out.
Yep.
I don't know. Is the screen 120 hertz? I'm going to assume it is, or at least 90. Does it say?
We don't know yet.
And even at that price, I wouldn't expect it to be there.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, man. If I didn't see that. That just popped up now. The price. If that is what it launches at,
$599. Come on.
Well, I mean, in Canadian dollars, it's going to be $5.99. It doesn't matter if it's $2 US. It's $5.99 here.
Right.
But I mean, dual 50 megapixel cameras.
What's the are these? I mean, these are leaked, so we don't know 100% if this is accurate. It'd be
I'm just going
when it
based
says
on
video. Does it say what the quality of video can shoot? It's a selfie camera. It says 30 something.
It says 1080p for the selfie.
Which
doesn't say anything about the rear camera.
But they're 50 megapixels. Is that what you said?
They are dual 50 megapixel cameras, I believe.
Which is, you can get 50 megapixel cameras for probably dirt cheap if you're a manufacturer.
And I apologize. It is 120 hertz refresh rate.
Okay.
So
I'd be okay at 90 for that price.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
Dimensity is probably a 6 nanometer. I'm going to assume it's a 6 nanometer processor. I don't know for sure.
I guess so too. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah.
I think the 7020 is, and it's not a beast by any means, but my reference for a chipset, especially budget, is, I know it's going to sound stupid, but my kids play Roblox, and Roblox has gotten a lot more advanced over the years, and it requires a little more horsepower in certain games. And I'll be honest, if the 7020 can handle a lot of those games, this is going to be. I feel like this is going to be like an India-only release, or
I don't know,
they
man.
tend to sell better in those countries than they do here, because the budget market in the U.S. is so saturated, especially like Motorola and Samsung. I don't know, but it'd be cool to see another entrance of another company fighting for that.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we don't know. That's literally
where do I reserve that at? I'll reserve that as well.
Good question. Yeah, we don't know.
Time to reach out to your contacts at CMF.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of leaked images that came out back in this week.
I haven't seen any of these.
So I'll show you this.
I swear, it better be Mac and me. No. You're done.
So this was, I'm assuming, like not the finished casing here. But
well, it's
maybe
covered up too, probably because it's out in the field. They're testing it actively. But look at that OS; it looks just like Nothing, and it's 2.6. You see that? I think they're on 2.5 right now.
So interesting. Interesting. Yeah, they don't have any other images.
It looks like. Do you think it'll have lights like Nothing, or you think they're going to separate them?
No, I don't think the lights. I think they're going to have a funky color.
If it's that orange color, I think I like it.
You know what I would love to see? A notification light. A singular LED on the back that changes color depending on the notification you get. I know that's old school smartphone,
Well, they used to be up by the earphone piece too. Remember in the front.
But I want one on the back. Because
Yeah.
I keep my phone face down 99% of the time.
And most younger people will be like, "Oh my god, that's a great idea," even though it's been done years ago and just kind of fell off.
We're bringing it back, Tuna. You and I, bud. You and I.
CMF, if you're listening, we know this is an active development and maybe already ready to go. Slap an LED on the back, and
we're here.
Sell it for $255 at $5. We'll be good with that.
We'll cover it. We got you. Our subscribers will donate, and then once we get the product, we will sell it because there's a problem with it and return it. Another big company that you may have heard of.
Actually, before you go any further, I was going to wonder. I'm thinking maybe I'll post a QR code here.
Yes.
For donations, so you guys can pay for me to get the phone,
and
I'll make tons of videos for you. Guaranteed.
I like this idea. I like this idea.
I know
think
it's
it works.
new. You never thought of it. Something, it's something new no one's ever done.
Listen, if you want to donate to the Tech Disruptors podcast,
Mhm.
on One Cut Reviews, there is already a donate help us out page.
Sure.
We will split it evenly down the middle, and we will put that towards funding whatever tech purchases you want us to buy.
Or we'll
If-
post a random PO box. Just send us bags of cash.
Just send it. Yeah, just send bags of cash. That's good too. Please only bags of cash.
no traces. No paper trail.
Yes. Okay, so another company, another new release that was announced this week is the Moto Edge 2024.
No.
So
This is not what you want to talk about.
well, listen, I mean, Motorola has had an interesting run the last couple of years. They've been making phones that have been getting better and better and better. And
Hold on. Is this the Moto Edge 50 Ultra, or is this something totally different?
That's a really good question. I have no idea. This is what I know. This is what I saw
No, this
earlier
is
in
not.
the week.
You see the mid range. Okay, so Motorola has a 50 Ultra that's
Yes.
available in the UK, and you
Right
can
now.
pre-order here, and that's
Yes.
the one that comes in the Nordic wood.
Yes.
And I was going to
Yes.
import it from their website. It was $1,200 US, and it
Ooh.
has the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, so it's already
Oh
hampered.
boy.
But
Yeah.
could you imagine having a phone that's made in wood, like made out
It's
of
a
wood?
cool idea. I mean,
But not for that price. But this must be like a step down for the U.S. North American market.
Well, this is, I would imagine that because Motorola last year did the same thing. So they released the regular Moto Edge 2023,
Correct.
and shortly after came the Ultra, the North
Okay,
American
you're
version.
right. I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is an interesting mid-range proposition. 550, which is a decent price. Snapdragon 7S Gen
What?
2.
So they're hampering the 7 Gen 2. Oh my!
Well, I mean, it's not a bad chipset. I mean, it's one of the more recent ones.
I know, but there's just so much clutter with their chips. Like now they have the S.
Yeah.
And are they going to have a Plus?
I don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I think it might be. I think in the Edge, the Ultra version, I think it's going to be the 8S Gen
It is. That's
3.
what the
Yeah.
Ultra 50 is. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was reading about that before because I saw you post, you and me talk before the
Yeah.
show, and I was looking up the 50 Ultra, and they said that the GPU. I know I get technical with this stuff. Most people don't give a shit. But the GPU and I think the 8 Gen 2 is the 740 maybe,
Yes.
and this Gen S, the 8 Gen 3S, whatever you want to call it, has the 735.
Yes.
So it seems like I mean, how much money is the manufacturer saving the S series compared to the regular? There has to be a difference. I don't know what it is. The lower clock speeds, lower GPU speeds, but
I think it's a money thing. It's just, I honestly wonder this. Like, what's the difference in price between a Snapdragon 8
Yeah.
series Gen 3
Right.
and a Gen 2 or like a Gen 1? Like, it's got to be $50, $100.
Well, and
like-
you know as well as me, if I go to Snapdragon and say, "Hey, I want to buy one of your chips, just one,
Yeah.
because I want to make one phone," they're gonna say, "Oh, $1,000." But
Yeah.
you're a manufacturer like Motorola or Samsung,
Yeah,
whoever,
you're buying
and
them
you're
in
buying
bulk.
billions
Yeah.
of them or millions of them. It's going to be a lot cheaper. So, are they saving $4 off a phone or $100 a phone? I mean, that's what I'd like to know.
Well, across the board, I mean, it is a mid-range phone. You have to remember that. So, I mean,
It is,
there are some kind of highlights here. So, you do still get a 6.6-inch POLED display. You're getting
CMF
100.
has 6.7.
Yeah, I know. But you're getting 144 hertz refresh rate,
Nah,
68-watt wired turbo
Okay.
powered charging,
that's nice.
256 starting build storage.
That's good too.
A Sony LY7 700C sensor. So that's a new.
It's a lower end
Mid-range.
processor, but it's the LY series.
Yes,
so
it
it's
is,
stacked
which is
CMOS or whatever they.
that's
call
pretty
it.
good. I like that. That sounds
Wow.
pretty good. And apparently, they will all have their own AI capabilities.
Yeah, but it pales in comparison to the Gen.
Of course, yeah, I know. I mean, it's not going to do anything. But listen, it's made of blue synthetic leather, which I fucking love. I love that idea.
It's different.
IP68 rated, right? I don't know, man. For 550,
Okay.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. After
Yeah.
reviewing the Pixel 8a,
Yeah.
I would buy this.
Well, I think I can't speak for you.
Yeah.
We have similar taste in phones. You remember the Honor
Yeah.
5 iPod? And you're like, oh, whatever. And then you're like, oh my God, it's a great,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Vivo. The Vivo is the same way.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed about Motorola is I had their last I think last year's flagship, and
Yeah.
it was perfect. But one big flaw: the cameras just weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think for me, and I can't speak for you, but I need a phone that does a lot as well as have good cameras. And I'm willing to forego some things to have that better camera. Like the Vivo is not sold here in North America, and it does
Yeah.
have some weird quirks
Quirks?
because it's just not sold here. But the camera is just, I mean, I can't.
It's outstanding.
That's my
it is.
Honor Magic 5 of this year. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't
And
have
look,
the
I
Ultra,
mean-
I have the Pro. So
And look, I mean, if the Ultra was sold globally, I would have bought that phone. That would have
Yeah.
been my next purchase.
and we got to remember one thing: that Sony sensor is probably amazing, but we all know
Yeah.
sensors don't make a camera. It's the
That's
processor.
exactly right. Yep. And Vivo's processing when it comes to light sources, HDR, dynamic range, it's just second
And
to
the
none. Like
video,
there's,
I've taken some
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah, it's
Now-
honestly, it's
oh.
an impressive phone.
I know we're getting off topic, but Vivo, OnePlus, Oppo, they're all BB.
They're all BBK. Yeah, BBK.
I saw
Yeah.
Oppo announce that their next flagship are going to go global,
Yes.
and I'm super pumped. Now, global doesn't mean anything for us in North America, except for it's going to be sold in the UK, and we'll have Google services baked in, and it should work over here better. But I'm excited. I know I went off topic. I apologize, but I'm excited.
Now, speaking of potential comeback kings.
No.
Now listen, Tuna. Everyone wants to see HTC come up. They
So
want
why
to
did the last phone they come out with was a blockchain phone with crappy specs and didn't sell?
listen. Everybody who's anybody who's
I
been
know.
in the Android space for 10 years or more
Mhm.
has a fond spot in their heart for HTC.
They
They want
made
someone-
hardware that rivaled Apple at the time. They were
Absolutely.
and they had the flip clock widget that was like
Yes.
standard. Oh,
That was like revolutionary.
I would buy other Android phones because I couldn't afford the HTC, and I'd find the widget in the Play Store.
Yes.
Google, what was it called then? I don't know what it was called then, but
I think it's called Flip Clock.
no, I mean it wasn't called Google Play Store.
Oh,
it was
the
like
HTC.
Google
Oh, yeah.
App Store, or
Whatever
whatever.
it
And
was,
I would
yeah.
find a widget just that way I could actually use it. That same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen,
6,
it's
12,
another
24.
attempt. It's another attempt. This is another Snapdragon.
Hold on.
7
Can I ask a
Gen
question?
3.
And maybe
Yeah.
you can't answer this. Is HTC still a company, or is this just someone who bought the rights like BlackBerry?
That's a really good question. I don't know. Let me do a little bit of research really quickly.
Well, you don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference because is it just people use like it's kind of like well, obviously
It's
BlackBerry
still
comes to
owned.
mind.
No, it's okay. So let me get this right. From an article that was back in 2020,
Okay.
a really rich person from Taiwan basically bailed them out to rescue the smartphone maker. So it's still owned for the most part by the company themselves. But
This
they
person in
were
Taiwan must have lots of money to burn.
Yes, they absolutely did. In fact, in the last 8 years, from 2011 to 2019, HTC has lost 9.4 billion Taiwanese dollars, which is about 320 million US. So they've been
I'm
slowly,
Holy shit!
yeah, they've been slowly hemorrhaging for a long time.
You know what someone should do? You know, Carl Pei, who
Yeah.
does nothing.
Yeah,
This would be someone he's an intelligent guy. He
Yeah.
knows marketing. If you're smart with tech and you know marketing, you could scoop up HTC
buy them up.
and you already have the skeleton to make and the menu and the connections. All you gotta
Yeah.
do is plug in your recipe and you're good to go. I mean, it's not that simple, but
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question, right? Side note for a second. 2011, which arguably was kind of like their peak
Yeah.
HTC. How much was the company worth in 2011?
1.2 billion.
8.8 billion.
Damn, and in 2011, that's a lot. That's probably because inflation's like skyrocketed. So it's
Yep.
probably almost.
They were worth
three-
$8.8 billion in
But that was,
2011.
I would say that was probably the beginning of their downfall too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
'Cause
Listen,
I remember the Ultra. Didn't they have an Ultra series for a while?
yes, and it
Oh,
kind of
I love that. It
yeah.
was, they kind of lost their way. They did. So
Dude,
they're
listen,
having a new
I'm-
phone on 6/12. That's next week. That's next
That's next week.
Thursday. Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yep. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the greatest phone they ever made.
Nope. Look,
I'm telling you right now. I'm going to pull it up on screen.
Wait, hold on. I'm reading this article. It says the U24 Pro revealed it's coming with a Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. Seriously, it's not even a flagship.
No, it's not a flagship, unfortunately.
You know what's funny? These companies, to make money, they know they're going to sell better in the mid-range market.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
That is peak right there. The speakers were outstanding. And this camera in the back, the single, like a robot eye. Oh.
This is the HTC M8, which was literally one of my favorite phones ever made in the history of my smartphone ownership. Right alongside the Siemens SK65, which I'll pull up that one for you. Really.
Never had those phones ever.
So this one here.
I don't think Siemens was very popular here in the US.
But I had this one was a beast.
And that used what's the operating system?
Symbian.
Symbian, that's it.
Yeah. So this one had a rotating keyboard. So when you wanted to type a longer message, it made like a crucifix shape, I guess.
Yeah.
And you could type out on a QWERTY keyboard whatever message you wanted to. But here's the best thing about that phone. It had BlackBerry integration. So you could log into your BBM account and do chatting. Yeah.
And BB, that was very popular at the time.
Yes, it was. Very, very
this is what Michael Fisher would say. That's when phones were fun.
Were fun, yeah. I know.
Like the Sidekick. I still bring it up all the time. That by far changed my entire trajectory on phones. Like it was unique. It had lights. It swiveled out. It had a keyboard. It got on the internet when it was only 2G.
Yes, it did.
It was chunky. It was ugly, but I didn't care. The thing was awesome.
Okay, can we pivot into some robot/AI news really quickly?
Do we? I mean, AI is kind of like a long shot.
I know.
We'll shoot for it. We'll see.
Every week for the last month now, I've been sharing with you some nightmare fuel when it comes to robotics. And if you haven't had any sleepless nights yet after seeing this, check this out.
If they weren't already scary enough.
This is a robot snake that can climb a tree. Let's see if I can make this play.
Yeah, you don't have to have sound. You can just watch it. It's creepy.
So it quite literally can coil up around a tree like a snake.
It looks like there's a camera on the front, maybe?
There's a camera on the front. It looks like a fucking snake. This thing moves a lot like a snake would, and it quite literally is climbing a tree to spy on you.
Now, I saw this video. Okay. I didn't see this video, but I saw a video. I didn't know what the use case. It's got to be like a recovery or some kind of surveillance kind of thing.
Yes. But
God, could you see the U.S. military getting this in camo?
Oh my God. Can you imagine just fucking putting it up any tree and then it just comes down on its own when it needs to? Yeah. Like, for fuck's sake.
Dude, I'm getting one for my house. I'm watching a dog when I'm at work.
Yes.
Let's get the crap out of it.
Seriously. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about.
This is a reoccurring segment as well, you guys. We talk AI a lot, and Darren is very
I'm all into
famous, but he's very well known for finding the creepiest of all AI and robots and how Skynet is beginning.
Now, side note. So a really, really, really popular news company has just got dinged for using AI to generate fake news stories. Tuna, guess the company.
Do I have to? I'm going to say Fox News.
Not Fox
News.
I don't
know.
So,
Newsbreak?
Newsbreak. Now, okay, Newsbreak you may not know, but they also are, they're an app, a very popular free news app in the US. And they've been publishing fictitious stories for the past 3 years. So it publishes licensed content from legitimate news sources like CNN, AP, Reuters, and stuff. But it's been using these intelligence tools to rewrite press releases and local news. So while that may not seem crazy.
You say AI tool. So are they taking articles from other sources and using like the summarize tool or...
I'm imagining that's what I'm imagining it is. Yeah. So they're taking stories from other sources, getting AI to rewrite it or rephrase it, and then publishing it as a story that they found. So imagine, a story on CNN. They take it and go, okay, we want to make it sound like us. They pump it into one of these AI tools.
And this is why we need regulation, because It's not
Yes.
fair if, let's say, One Cut Reviews, or even me, let's say I write an article
Anybody.
for you, One
Yeah.
Cut Reviews, and someone grabs that article, and
And
it took me a week to write, let's say, and then in 10 minutes they get a summary, add a few lines, and now
Yep.
they say, hey, guess what? We wrote this. It's not fair, but it's kind of like when AI first started making art. You know, artists are,
Yeah.
this isn't real. How do you know? Where's the line? Where's the line?
Yeah.
This is a hard topic. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And look, I mean, they're saying that the app has removed all of its fake stories, but they have been absolutely dinged here and are actually now being sued. But here's the irony of it. So they're a China-based company. They're a subsidiary of Yidian, which is owned by a Chinese state-linked media firm. Now, apparently, that company is no longer connected with the app, but it's owned now by, I think, IDG Capital, which is a Beijing.
So you're telling me the U.S.
company.
government's going to ban this site now because they're spying on us?
I would almost guarantee it that within the next 2 months, 3 months, it would not surprise me if they get dinged because
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
I know you're kind of talking about
yeah,
being dinged, and I don't live in Canada.
yeah.
Does Canada seem to mimic a lot of the U.S. like cutting off
Tone?
Huawei and TikTok
Yeah.
bans? Do they kind of
But
mimic
you
us?
also,
I don't know.
but we do. But you also got to remember that you can't share news on social media in Canada.
So they're a little more strict in that respect.
Yeah, like you literally can't go to CNN and share a story on Facebook. It won't allow you.
Let me ask you a question. I know you're
Yeah.
talking about AI, and
Yeah.
this is kind of like left center.
Yeah.
I saw a recent article that now
Yes.
X, formerly known as Twitter, has sent out information saying there could be graphical, adult-themed items on X, which there already had been.
I've
But
heard
now
of
they're
this.
saying they're pretty much, I guess it sounds like they're pretty much saying, hey, we're not going to moderate this anymore.
Nope. They're saying, hey, deal with it, basically.
Hey, we're not moderated, so why should X?
Exactly. Yeah, I
Well,
don't
we
see the
are. We
problem.
get dinged every
Yeah.
other day, but
I know, this is true. Now, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we know that this stuff happens, right? A fake AI,
there's things that
fake
happen,
stuff.
we don't even know about half the stuff. That's
Exactly.
happening right now. Right.
I mean, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the reality of the world that we're living
They
in.
got caught in the
They
cookie
did.
jar,
They got caught.
and
Yeah.
they need to pay. I mean, you can't take copyrighted items, and you're going to get in trouble. It's
Yeah.
simple as that.
Okay, now I think probably the biggest story of this week is about a little bit of a fiery new AI tool. You may know what I'm talking about here, Tuna. This company that's had a little bit of trouble with some of their charging case. So, Humane AI.
PSA. Can I do a PSA real quick?
Yes.
So I pre-ordered this twice and canceled twice. Thank the effing God. Now I still want to try it, but I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
till they're dead in the water. No, then they
Yeah.
won't work. But so I'm part of some Facebook groups. I know I'm old. I'm on Facebook, but there's a lot of good things about Facebook, like these groups. And there's
Yeah.
about 2,000 to 3,000 people in this group, and some people are still waiting for them, and they're posting, "Hey, my shipping notice." What's it going to take for people to say, hell no? The company's trying to sell for $1 billion with only 10,000 units sold.
Yeah.
Their charging case apparently is broken.
Yeah.
And if you're in this group, and if you go to Facebook, just search for it. I don't see, you probably have to join to read. People are having laser issues, charging issues, just won't work. And they contact support, and their support's giving them a lot of runaround because they don't want the device returned.
Yes, I've heard this.
And now they're giving you 2 months more of free service because of the charging cable. Well, the service means nothing if the thing doesn't work.
And it blows up if it's fucking you try to charge it. That's exactly right.
Now, like most recalls with automobiles, like I have a couple recalls in my current vehicle, and my car is fine. I think it's affected, and they're doing they're going above and beyond, saying, "Hey, look, we've had 100 cases of 10,000 that it's getting warm or it could." So we're just going to take it. But the problem is, you're already
they're shredding water.
You already cut your arms off, and now you took a leg away. You're on one leg, and there's not much more room you can. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you something. How many did they sell?
Well, according
Give me
to
a
the
number.
article that I read, it was about 10,000.
10,000, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, not with the hype they got. No.
No. So Humane AI is treading
Hold on.
water hard.
Before we dig into too much, Humane, if anybody's listening, send us one. I will
Yeah,
love
we'll
to
try it.
try this. Hell yeah.
Sure.
I'd try it
I
in a
mean,
heartbeat.
I'll do it in my freezer just in case.
I'll do it in the 90-degree sun.
Well, listen, I so there was a video that came out today. It was posted on Reddit, and
course.
it was someone claiming that their Humane AI charging case blew up. But here's the interesting thing:
Uh-oh.
they took a video. So they took a
Hold
video.
on. How would you know it's going to blow up?
Well, they didn't. I think this was a kind of a case where it was on charge,
Okay.
maybe for an extended period of time. I
Maybe
don't know.
getting
There's
warm.
not a lot
Maybe
of
they felt it
context
getting
in the video.
warm or something.
So let me pull up the video, and I promise this is not Mac and me, just for two.
Before you pull the video, do you
Yeah.
watch The Office?
I do.
Do you remember the when Andy found the printers were smoking and it's
Yes, I
like
do.
one of those situations where it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
basically.
it's gonna blow up, and then it actually does.
So here is live footage of
Mac and
this user's Humane AI pin blowing up.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you see why Humane's got their recall going.
I mean, they're out in the park. I think on A time.
Came out and won the market too. You know, if you think about it, though, if you have a humane pin with a charger,
Yeah,
4th of July is coming up.
I know, right? I say
Well,
put them
I
all
guess
the 10.
for us.
Well, look, put all 10,000 on charge in a controlled, heat-filled environment, and let's just see what happens.
You know what, though? It'd be cheaper just
Yeah.
to buy fireworks
Well, exactly.
because
Yeah.
humane ain't cheap.
Do you think if the Humane AI blew up, it would say "ow"?
I don't think it would work.
help! Help!
I know we talk about AI and the I have the Rabbit R1 and I still have it.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's
getting
under the
better?
radar. It's good.
Okay, it's
Like,
getting there.
they've been doing some updates. The UI is better. They're actually listening.
Okay.
It's a $200 device. There's no subscription fees.
Yep.
They got this new thing. It's called Magic Camera, and you can take a
Okay.
picture. And when you go to the
Yep.
portal, the rabbit hole they call it,
Yeah.
it actually creates retro AI photos for you, and it's really cool. It's just
Oh, cool.
it's a niche thing, but it's
Yeah.
I mean the smart camera's getting better. I don't know.
well,
I think
look,
Rabbit took the right course because it's cheaper
They-
to run off the rip.
they did, and look, I mean, just on the Humane AI, they're trying to sell it for $1 billion to HP. That's the rumor that came out this week.
You know why? Do you remember the Palm
Yes.
tablet that HP bought? They bought Palm
Yep.
and then had a fire sale.
Yep.
The
I
difference
remember.
is at least Palm's tablet was hacked and it ran. You could upgrade. You know, back
Yes.
in the day, Android could be put on anything.
Yeah.
The problem with Humane, it requires a cloud storage. So if
Yeah.
someone's not going to maintain that cloud connection, if Humane goes under, everyone who paid $800+
Yeah,
for
they're
this thing
screwed.
is done.
You got a dud. That's what you've got.
If this thing was sold for $399, maybe even $499, and it was a $10 subscription fee, which is still
Yeah.
a stretch, I think they would have sold a lot more, and they would have had more cash flow to fix the issues it had.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, look, they're saying the article here that was posted earlier this week, they're looking to sell, I think it's for $1 billion. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
I put an
anymore.
offer in for $100, and they said no. So
Engadget has been just crucifying the
they
Humane
don't.
AI.
Engadget.
Yeah, they are not fans. The good for nothing AI device.
Well, and it's not just Engadget. Most media has been railing Humane and Rabbit as a
Yeah.
cash grab. And I hate to say this, while Rabbit and Humane weren't great, and I think Rabbit's better, I think Humane was a cash grab. They had
Yeah.
all this hype. They released a product that seemed really good, but everything but the design and the hardware is a huge failure. And now they're like, hey, we
Oh,
got all
shit.
this, all these patents. Let's sell it. Bull crap. No,
we screwed up.
they're going to end up selling for like $500,000 is what's going to happen. Maybe $1
Oh,
million.
absolutely. 100. Yeah, they're not going to get more than $1 million. I
You know,
reckon.
if a company's smart, they'd swoop in, give them a couple $1 million,
Yep.
lower the price to half what it is now, and
And
say,
just,
look,
yeah,
we're
blow 'em
just
out.
gonna,
Yeah.
put Wi-Fi on it and a SIM
Yeah.
card, and let
Yeah.
someone pay what they want to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of work, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't tell
I
me there's
mean,
no SIM card tray in there. Is it
there's
eSIM?
got to fucking be one. There's got to be. There's got to
Uh,
be something that they can
When is
activate or.
Jerry Rig gonna open this damn thing up? That's what I want.
I don't think he even cares.
No, he's too
Like, I'll
busy
be
with his
honest with you.
bunker.
Yeah, I know he's busy. He's end of the world bunker. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, Humane AI is treading water, and they have been for a while. This might be the final, nail.
I
in
got
the
a great
proverbial
idea.
coffin. Yeah,
Humane and Fisker should unite.
exactly. Yeah,
Put Humane in the failing Humane
yep,
as the AI assistant in the failing Fisker cars.
yep.
Match made in heaven.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Speaking of failing companies,
We're terrible.
I
We're
know,
so
I
negative.
know.
We're like the media.
We're like the media. We're here. We're here to say. So Samsung, Samsung, when they released the S24 Ultra series,
Yep.
they're releasing a ring, a smart ring. Now, there you go, just like that.
It is a
right?
smart ring.
I know.
Samsung.
Yeah. So, in typical bully fashion, Samsung is suing the other major ring maker in
Who started
the United
first.
States, who started first. They're suing Aura. So I read this article and I just went, "What the fuck, Samsung?" Like, I understand that you're going to try to sell. You're trying to sell. But you by taking out someone else who's been at it longer than you and suing them for intellectual property dispute. Fuck me.
Patent
Like,
portfolio. Is that
yeah,
is it patent
come
something?
on. So
Look, Apple does the same thing.
it does.
Google
It
does the same thing. It's just
Yeah,
it doesn't seem right because Samsung's been talking about this for a long time,
yeah,
and now all of a sudden they're going to sue the company that's been around the longest.
yeah.
Come
I mean,
on.
it's bullying behavior. And look, I mean, this is like you said, all the big companies are doing this now. Like, they're trying to take out these startup, smaller companies.
Samsung and
Yeah.
Aura, who's bigger?
Yeah, exactly.
Samsung has the financial resources to annihilate Aura, and they know
Yeah.
it. That's what Apple
And
does.
listen-
That's what Google does. It's terrible.
Why can't they fucking coexist? I don't understand.
Make a
Like,
better
Sam-
product, and you'll outsell Aura.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Exactly. So basically, Aura's come out and said they'll continue to assert their patent infringement case against, Samsung. Who'd say,
Oh, so
hey,
they're suing Samsung.
they're coming back at them. They're saying, hey,
Good.
we're not going to lie down here. Like, we've got patents too.
We
So
sold 100
basically-
rings. We have enough money to stand.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
Fuck me. I know.
No,
Aura,
they're pretty
expensive.
popular, but I
Yeah.
never I have this one, which is a cheap knockoff, and I'm
Yeah.
actually seriously impressed. I've been wearing it for about 2 weeks. It doesn't scratch. It's ceramic coated.
That's nice.
But it tracking is kind of But
Yeah.
it's not bad. I paid $99 for this.
That's pretty impressive.
And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I went on Temu. You know what Temu is, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at this ring,
Yep.
and I looked up online and found out that this is a Chinese company that makes this for a bunch of different companies.
Oh,
The company
right.
I bought it from just rebranded it. Temu has something similar for
Yeah.
$18.
Oh, no.
Now I'm sure Aura and Samsung, it's more feature rich, more
Yeah.
sensors, but this thing
Yeah.
lasts about a week. It does basic stuff, so I don't know. I still use my smartwatch. I'm not sold on the ring thing. I really am
Well,
not.
Listen, I wanted to just, end tonight's show with this because I have to say that Aura is not taking this lying down.
Mm-mm.
So they actually said their immediate response to the announcement was to point to their purported strength of its intellectual property portfolio. So Aura is saying, hey, motherfuckers, we have a bunch of patents, come at us. And I
Yep.
fucking love that. I
Nope.
love
You know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Because Apple's rumored to make one of these too. All
Yeah.
Samsung or Apple have to do is buy Aura. Just buy them, and you have the whole portfolio. And that's what it seems like is going on here. They're going to
Yeah.
push Aura to the point where they're going to have a financial downfall from all the legal fees, and they're
Yeah.
fine. We'll just sell out. I hate that. I love
Yeah.
Samsung. I love Apple. I mean, I like all companies, but the more companies that get squashed and bought, the less
Yeah.
competition we have, and rely on the big 3 or the big 4 or whatever it is.
Well, basically, I mean, so just I don't want to. I just want to say that Aura's not flawless either. They have
No.
sued other ring companies, saying you've infringed on our patents, which is fine. I mean, if they own them, they own them.
Here's the thing: if you're one of
Yeah.
the first companies that makes these, you go to Shark Tank and they have these inventions, and
Yeah.
you're on national TV, you're going to have a bunch of Chinese companies ripping you off, right?
Yeah,
If I'm the guy who invented it first and I have patents, I have every right to fight for what I created.
yeah,
You can't tell me Samsung, who's just now, I mean, I'm sure they've been researching this for a while.
yeah,
Aura's been out for a hell of a lot longer. There's no way that
yeah.
they have patents that are, I don't know.
Well, so like Samsung's basically saying, hey, Aura is a bit of a bully, saying that they own patents on a whole bunch of things, like that they just file patents. So they've got intellectual property rights over some of this technology that are used in some of these smart wearables. Which, listen, if you're the first to the market and you can get the patent, why does it fucking matter?
So wait, they're saying they're a bully because they won't share the patents? Is that what they're
So
saying?
basically, Samsung's saying that they have a pattern of behavior where Aura is like suing other companies, saying you're infringing on these patents.
Right.
But Samsung's claiming that they've got so many patents that they kind of can't get their foot in the door, or maybe something's not right the way that Samsung wanted it.
That's the
Yeah,
downfall
exactly.
of not being first.
Exactly. So you know what, Samsung? I'm sorry, you didn't make it first. Someone else did.
Do you remember when Apple patented the rectangular phone?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous. But you know what? Maybe, I guess Samsung's got a point, because some of these companies do go
Yeah.
over and beyond. Because look, at the end of the day, we talk about the end of the day all the time. Companies are
Yeah.
out to make money. They're a business.
Exactly.
They don't care. They do care about their customers and their consumers because they want to make a profit. But they don't
I
really
get it.
truly care about you. We
Yeah.
all got to get to know that. I mean,
Well,
we
listen,
can love Google, but yeah.
we love all companies, and
do, yes.
we all do. But there's only one company that you should really back and get behind, and that's the Tech Disruptors podcast. We, believe it or not, are available on most streaming platforms. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on YouTube. Like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff, and help support a little tech, podcast that wants to be, well, like the little engine that could. Tuna, actually, that's his favorite childhood book, The Little Engine That Could.
Yeah, it really was. I love that book too.
Tuna's actually only 3'3". He's really quite short.
You use the engine that could, chapter book, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah. I mean, we're hoping that he grows one day, but we're getting there. He's small but mighty is what we'll say to end the show. But yes, please check us out. We are on all of those platforms, and that actually brings us to the end of.
Before we end,
yes. Is he going to order it? Does it say done? Are you going to do it?
Should I do it?
$100. I mean, fuck, you can cancel. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Tune in next week. And I will let you know. It's in my cart, and I'm ready to go. And I will tell you, if we remember.
If you want.
If we remember to talk about it. The VR Chrome OS.
And listen, we almost bought a supercomputer about a month ago. So fuck,
You know what?
like,
maybe we should put a bid on the Humane.
We should. $10.
I put 100 and they said no. So maybe 200
okay.
and a $1.
You know what? That would be interesting to see if they did what they did with the supercomputer and just say, fuck it. Whatever we get is what we get. And
cut
just
our losses to get the hell out of
pack
here.
shit and fucking go home. Go on vacation for a bit. But I don't know. Let's see what happens. But anyway, on that note, thank you very much, everybody, tune in. This is...
Oh, you're pointing at you.
I'm pointing... Sorry,
this is Jason.
Jason, yeah. And I'm Darren, and we are the Tech Disruptors. And please check us out. We'll be back next week at our regular scheduled time of Thursday at 7, I believe. And we'll catch you on the